There are moments in life when the world seems to crumble around us, when every dream we ever had lies shattered at our feet, when every voice, including our own, whispers that we are not enough. But it is in these very moments of darkness that something incredible happens. We begin to see the light within. I have learned that your struggle is not your weakness, it is your gift. It is the fire that forges you, the storm that shapes you, the pain that teaches you how to rise. You were not born to merely survive your hardships. You were born to transform them into your strength, into your story, into your empire. Let me tell you something from the depths of my own experience. When life broke me, it also rebuilt me. And when I could no longer walk the path I planned, I discovered a greater purpose that had been waiting for me all along. So don't fear the broken pieces, because from the ashes of your pain, you can rise and build a kingdom. Today, I want to share with you 4 powerful truths, 4 pillars that will help you overcome your struggles and begin building the empire you were born to rule. Your scars are not shame, they are symbols of strength. There is a moment in every journey when you look in the mirror and all you can see are the battle wounds, the cracks, the bruises, the aching pieces you try to cover. And in that moment, something within you whispers, hide it. But healing never begins in hiding. The world may have taught you to conceal what hurt you, to pretend like nothing ever touched you. But there is no strength in pretending. Real power is found in saying, this happened to me and yet here I am. The scars you carry are not signs of defeat. They are the very proof that life came for you and you survived. You walked through fire and didn't vanish. You broke and yet you rose with even more beauty etched into your soul. You don't need to erase your past to become worthy. The pain you've walked through has gifted you a depth others may never understand. That's not something to be ashamed of, it's something to honor. Look closely at your scars. Each one tells a story not of weakness, but of resilience, of what you faced, of how you felt, and most importantly, of how you kept going when there was no applause and no light. Too often, we chase perfection, believing only the unblemished can lead, inspire, or rise. But true greatness emerges from those who were broken and chose to still show up with grace. You are not broken beyond repair. You are not defined by the damage. You are defined by the fact that the damage did not destroy you. That is strength in its most sacred form. The world does not need more flawless masks. It needs more authentic souls who say, this is who I am, and this is what I've walked through. When you start embracing your story unfiltered, messy, and magnificent, you will find that others begin to see the light in their own. Your courage to be visible becomes a lighthouse for someone still drowning. Stop apologizing for your healing process. Stop shrinking to make others comfortable with your pain. Stand tall in the fullness of your journey, no matter how jagged the path has been. Every crack in your armor is a place where the light of grace enters. You are not fragile, you are forged. Not ruined, you are rebuilt. Not discarded, you are destined. People will try to define you by the chapter they walked in on. Let them. You are writing the whole book, and in the story you're writing, your scars are the gold threads running through your crown. You do not need to wait to be fully healed to be whole. Wholeness is not the absence of pain, it is the presence of peace, even within the wounds. You don't have to wear your pain like a prison. You can wear it like armor. Not the kind that hides you, but the kind that reminds you you've already faced the worst and lived to speak of it. And as you rise, wounded and radiant, never forget your scars are not shame. They are the sacred symbols of a soul that did not give up. Purpose is born from pain, not perfection. The world often tells us that purpose is this grand, shining destination. That you'll arrive there once everything aligns perfectly, once the money is right, the relationships are stable, and the fear is gone. But the truth is far more raw. Purpose is not born in the sunshine. It is born in the storms. It emerges from sleepless nights, silent tears, and the aching question, why me? It is not crafted in comfort, it is discovered in survival. When your world falls apart, something extraordinary begins to rise inside you. A longing, a calling, a whisper that says, this pain must mean something. And that whisper becomes the birthplace of your mission. You don't need to have it all figured out to begin. You just need to listen to the ache inside you, the one that says, there has to be more than this suffering. That ache is not just sadness. That ache is direction. The pain you carry is not random. It is not a punishment. It is a key. And when you unlock its message, you will find that the thing that nearly broke you is the very thing that can help someone else heal. Don't underestimate your wounds. They are invitations to feel deeper, to connect stronger, to live more awareness. Purpose doesn't ask, are you ready? Purpose asks, are you willing to begin with what you have? We are not meant to walk around waiting for clarity before we move. Clarity is found in motion. Purpose shows itself in the doing, not in the doubting. You don't need a title. You don't need a stage. You just need the heart to say, even in my pain, I will serve. Even in my confusion, I will rise. That is where true purpose lives. When your heart has been shattered, your empathy becomes stronger. You begin to see people more clearly. You hear what others do not say. You feel what others are afraid to admit. And that is where your calling lives. Purpose is not glamorous, it is sacred. It doesn't need the spotlight, it needs your courage to show up for it day by day, moment by moment. Do not wait to become perfect. If you are waiting for healing to be complete, you may never begin. Begin while you're still shaking. Begin while you're still learning. Begin with your broken heart and let it be the guide. Sometimes the thing that causes you the most pain is what you were meant to transform for the world. Sometimes your deepest wound becomes your highest wisdom. Let go of the idea that you need to be whole to serve. Sometimes people don't need your perfection, they need your presence, they need your truth, they need your authenticity. You are not lost, you are being led. Every detour, every heartbreak, every fall has been pointing you somewhere far more meaningful than you imagined. So don't curse the pain. Let it refine you. Let it teach you. Let it birth the purpose that was always hidden within the ashes of your old self. You don't need a crown to be royal. Build your empire with bare hands. The world has painted a picture that royalty looks like riches, gowns, palaces, and praise. But real royalty doesn't come with a crown. It comes from character. It comes from the way you rise after being knocked to your knees. You don't need a title to begin. You don't need a degree or validation or applause. What you need is to believe that where you are right now is enough to take the first step. Building an empire doesn't start with a blueprint. It starts with belief. The belief that even though the odds are against you, you can still create something that echoes beyond your lifetime. There will be days when your hands are trembling, when the weight of everything feels unbearable, when the dream seems too far and the support too little. But even on those days, especially on those days, keep building. Pick up the pieces with your bare hands. Use the rubble of what tried to bury you and make it your foundation. Let every painful moment become a stone you lay with intention. You may not have inherited anything but pain, but that doesn't stop you from creating legacy. Royalty is not in what you receive, it's in what you refuse to give up on. Don't wait for comfort. Empires are not built in comfort. They are built in chaos, in uncertainty, in the quiet decisions made when no one is watching. Your journey may not look like anyone else's, and that's your power. Because you were not meant to duplicate, you were meant to create. Don't be afraid of starting small. Even the tallest towers began with one stone. And sometimes the ones who build slowly, with purpose, are the ones who build empires that last. You don't need to be born royal to be royal. You just need to move with grace, to lead with compassion, and to never forget the fire that forged you. Let your scars be the jewels in your crown. Let your struggles be the architects of your vision. Let your humility become your strength, and your quiet resilience become your roar. Every sleepless night, every sacrifice, every moment of doubt is shaping something divine within you. Keep laying bricks, even when your hands bleed. When people ask how you built what you did, you won't need to say much. They'll see it in your posture. They'll feel it in your energy. They'll hear it in your silence. Royalty isn't loud, it is steady, it is certain. It doesn't need to prove itself. It simply exists with dignity, no matter how rough the beginning was. And so, with bare hands, with trembling strength, and with a heart full of vision, you begin again when the world says you can't. Let your spirit say, "Watch me." The moment you decide to rise, the world will test you. Voices will echo around you saying, "You're not enough. You don't belong. You'll never make it." But your response doesn't need to be loud, it just needs to be unwavering. You don't need to argue, you don't need to convince. Let your journey speak. Let your resilience become the language they cannot ignore. There is a sacred fire in those who are constantly told no. That fire doesn't just burn, it illuminates. It guides. It warms the path for those coming behind you. You were not made to fit in with limitations. You were made to expand, to rise beyond every restriction placed on you. And your soul knows it, even when your mind forgets. The doubt of others is not your truth. Their disbelief is not your destiny. You get to write your own narrative, and it starts the moment you say, "Watch me." Every time you are dismissed, let it be fuel. Every time you are overlooked, let it be your quiet motivation. Because you don't need recognition to do what you were born to do. You were never meant to stay in the background. The challenges were not sent to silence you, they were sent to sculpt you, to strengthen your spirit so that you could carry something greater. They will wonder how you kept going when everything was stacked against you. They will ask how you stood so tall with so many wounds. And all you will say is, "I remembered who I was." You are not here to seek approval. You are here to awaken something ancient within yourself. A knowing, a purpose, a roar that no rejection can quiet. When the doors close, build your own. When the voices mock, sing louder within. When the world doubts, believe even deeper. You were not sent to conform, you were sent to transform. To defy expectations. To rise from impossible places and declare, "This is not the end of me." Strength is not always seen, it is often felt. And your silent perseverance will shake foundations that loud words never could. Let them say you can't. Let them laugh. Because one day, they'll point and say, "That's the one who did it anyway." The world may try to mute your voice, but they cannot touch your spirit. And when your spirit rises, everything changes. So when they doubt you again, and they will it your every step forward, whisper the most powerful reply of all, "Watch me." At the end of the day, there comes a time in life when the silence of your soul becomes louder than the noise of the world. That silence is not emptiness, it's healing. It's God whispering that He has seen your tears, heard your prayers, and felt the weight you've been carrying alone. When God removes the demon spirit of a narcissist from your life, He's not just saving you from pain, He's restoring the identity they tried to erase. He's rebuilding the parts of you they shattered. He's showing you who you were before the gaslighting, before the guilt, before the manipulation, and who you are becoming now. This isn't about revenge. This isn't about wishing ill on someone who hurt you. It's about divine justice. It's about God stepping in when you had nothing left to give. He did not remove them to leave you lonely. He removed them to make space for something sacred, something whole, something that honors the value He placed inside you. You didn't lose a person, you lost a prison. You've been told too many times that you were too sensitive, too emotional, too weak. But now, you're beginning to understand that your sensitivity was discernment, your emotions were divine alerts, and your perceived weakness was actually unmatched inner strength. The narcissist didn't break you. They revealed the power it took to survive them. And God saw that. God honored that. And God acted on it. He removed what was sent to destroy you, not because you begged Him to, but because He loved you too much to let it stay. There's a sacred rebirth happening in the quiet now. You may still feel the ache of what was done to you, but even in your trembling hands, there's strength, there's courage. There's a new version of you that's no longer shaped by survival, but by sovereignty. Every lie that tried to define you is being rewritten in truth. Every wound is being sealed in grace. And every day you rise again, you declare without saying a word that the evil that tried to break you has no power here anymore. This isn't just healing. This is deliverance. This is sacred transformation. This is what it looks like when the Creator interrupts destruction. When God removes the demon spirit of a narcissist, He doesn't just free you, He redeems every piece of you that was stolen in the dark. The freedom you feel now is not empty space, it's holy ground, and you will never walk the same way again. Because now you walk with wisdom, now you speak with clarity, now you love yourself with the kind of honor that cannot be taken away by charming lies or false promises. You know better now. You see deeper now. You love harder, but you also guard wiser. God didn't just remove what was hurting you, He elevated what was inside you. He reminded you of your divine inheritance, your inner fire, and your eternal worth. The days ahead may still carry echoes of pain, but they will also carry songs of freedom. You'll hear yourself laugh in ways you forgot. You'll wake up without fear. You'll build new boundaries, not out of bitterness, but out of boldness. You'll stop apologizing for the light you carry, and instead, you'll let it shine so bright that no darkness will dare return. There's no going back now. You're no longer the person who needed validation to breathe. You're no longer desperate for attention from those who only brought destruction. You've met the God who rescues not just from others, but from the lies you believed about yourself. You've witnessed Him remove what you didn't have the strength to walk away from. And now, you carry that strength. This is not the end. This is the rising. This is the beginning of the chapter the narcissist never wanted you to write. You are not their victim. You are not their casualty. You are the living proof that God always has the final say. He doesn't just rescue, He restores. He doesn't just remove, He rebuilds. And what He builds, no enemy can destroy. You didn't lose anything when they left. You gained your soul back. You gained your voice. You gained the clarity to never settle for toxicity again. That is the miracle. That is the gift. And that is the legacy you now carry boldly, bravely, and beautifully.